Today's video is about guppies and making prettier guppies. So I hope you'll stick around and let's talk about making some pretty guppies. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I hope you will like and subscribe. Subscribing to a YouTube channel is free. This channel does videos about different topics, and I hope it's things that you'll enjoy and encourage you. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video is published. Now to today's video. Well, guppies are probably one of the easiest fish to keep and breed. And they come in so many beautiful shapes, sizes, and colors that I never get tired of them. Now, I have to admit that for a while I really wasn't that interested in guppies, but I have to give credit where credit is due. I give credit to Corey McElroy and Aquarium Co-op. He would talk about the wonders and beauty of guppies and how much he enjoyed guppies. Well, Aquarium Co-op's Corey McElroy can keep any kind of fish, and if he thinks guppies are cool, they must be cool. But let's talk about guppies today and how we can take some blah guppies and turn them into beautiful guppies in just a few months. I think one of my first videos I did featuring guppies was a video where I talked about Corey McElroy and his burnout. If you haven't seen that video, I hope you'll check it out. But I mentioned in that video that my guppies were so blah. I had added a couple of platies in the tank just to give some color to the tank. I attended a fish swap in Kansas City where I saw some beautiful guppies, and I had the opportunity to talk to some guppy breeders. Well, most of these guppy breeders believed that to have some pretty guppies, you've got to keep them in a tank with pretty guppies. If you let some inlers or some drab, dull, uncolorful guppies stay in the tank, those genetics are going to mix in with your pretty guppies, and pretty soon your guppies are not going to be as pretty and colorful. They're going to breed out those pretty genes. It just seems like to me they were trying to say that the ugly gene is stronger. Well, I really took that advice to heart, and when I got home, I dipped out every few days ugly guppies. Every time I saw a guppy that had no color and wasn't pretty, I'm talking about the females and the males, I would put them in a separate tank, my ugly tank. And I realized that the only pretty guppy I had was a male I had bought at Petco. I think it's called a blonde delta, and this is him. I thought I'd better take another trip to the pet store and see if I could find a pretty female, at least one pretty female. So I did. I went to my favorite Petco and I found this big, healthy female. I also, at another fish swap, I think this one was in Northwest Arkansas, I bought a bag of pretty female guppies. And these are the pretty female guppies I bought. Well, I've heard that a female guppy can continue to have fry even when she's not with a male any longer. She does have to be exposed to a male at some point. So I put those 5 pretty females that I bought at the fish swap in a tank by themselves with no males. I thought I'd wait at least 30 days to see if they had any fry and what those fry would look like. Well, after almost 6 weeks, no fry were had in that tank. So I thought I better dip out that Delta Blonde, because he was the prettiest male I had at the time, and put him in the tank with these pretty females that I had bought at the fish swap. Well, as you can see, my tank is full of fry now. So just like magic, by adding that male that I bought at Petco, that blonde Delta, into the tank, within 6 weeks, I am full of fry. So I'm not sure if that is true, that a female guppy can still have fry. It may be, but it didn't work for me. It wasn't until I added this male into the tank that I started having fry. And I'm so excited to see what these little fry are going to look like as they mature. As I'm watching this footage, I realize that I have not dipped out all the colorless or blah females, but I am doing that. As I notice a female in that tank, and if she's not pretty and colorful, I'm removing her from the tank. Now that pretty male had already been in the tank with my pretty female that I had bought at Petco for over a month, and she had already had some fry. Those fry I could tell were going to be really pretty and colorful, so I didn't mind taking him out of the tank. I felt like we could do some line breeding, that some of these little fry were probably males that she had had, and hopefully they were going to grow up to be pretty males, and then we can have some pretty guppies in this tank. I'm going to try to take the advice of those guppy breeders I met at the Kansas City Fish Swap and remove any guppies, male or female, that are not colorful. Hopefully, by following this advice, I'm going to have a tank full, actually 2 tankfuls of beautiful guppies. And I think these 2 tanks are going to look different because I'm starting off with this, I think it's called maybe a tequila sunrise female in this one tank with this orange tail, and then I've got those pretty females that I bought, and I don't know what exactly the name of them are, but I think they were some kind of mosaic pattern. I'm going to have some pretty fish. Even though they have the same male, I'm starting out with different females in that other tank. I'm excited to see what these 2 tanks full of guppies are going to become. Well, I'm pretty happy with how it's going in this tank. That big female is still putting out some pretty fry. And look at her fry, how they're growing up and showing their colors. I'm really happy with this tank too, because I do have a lot of fry. Now, they haven't matured yet, so I don't know what colors I'm going to get, but it is going to be a lot of fun seeing what I get from that blonde delta and these mosaic females that I got at the fish swap. Well, I'm going to try to make an update video in 3 to 6 months and let you know how this breeding program is going. This has been such a fun experiment, trying to make pretty guppies. I encourage you today to give it a try. If your guppies are getting drab or you don't have any guppies at all, just start off with 1 pretty male and maybe a couple of pretty females. Well, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you will give guppies a try, and certainly trying to make your guppies prettier. Until next time, bye.